I don't even own a LaserDisc player, so why am I collecting these? LaserDisc might be an overlooked format today, but for collectors it's pure gold. In this video I'm showing 10 of my all-time favorite LaserDisc releases, not because I can play them, but because the artwork is absolutely incredible. So imagine if you have a compact disc mixed with a vinyl record, then you'll roughly have something like this. Mostly popular in Japan during the 80s and the 90s, LaserDiscs remain one of the most unique physical media formats ever made. From the oversized cover art to the obscure editions and pure archival beauty, these discs were never about convenience, they were about presence. Do I own a LaserDisc player? Nope. Do I keep collecting them anyway? Absolutely. So let's get into the LaserDiscs, starting with probably my favorite fantasy / sword and sorcery movie, Conan the Barbarian. This is a Japanese edition that came with an obi strip. First of all, this obi strip, you will see them on other LaserDiscs as well in this video, is usually a colored and folded piece of paper with information about the title. Obis can also have advertising from upcoming releases in the LaserDisc days. These strips add a nice touch to the collector experience. So if you want complete Japanese LaserDisc editions, definitely look out for these little, obi strips. So Conan the Barbarian, a milestone for the sword and sorcery genre. This is the Japanese LaserDisc release from 1986. It features an alternative cover, as you can see. It's Conan that sits here at one of the first scenes when he is asked what is best in life. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you. So I absolutely love this movie. So here you see the back when he's nailed at the Tree of Woe. On the inside you get a beautiful black and white presentation with some info about the movie. I'm gonna need to translate this. The discs itself are just the silver looking discs, and there are no inserts in this edition. I think it's the fully complete version I have here. So like I said before, with the obi strip, Conan the Barbarian. Another cool fact about this release, by the way, this is distributed by Torn EMI, so I have a Dutch VHS release here, more about that on the next video. As you can see here, it has the same font. I really love these alternative editions and versions and compiled covers with alternative artwork. So it's cool to have those. Up next is another Japanese release from The Thing. This is a 1993 release. It's also complete with the little obi strip here, and it features some absolutely amazing artwork, alternative artwork for the Japanese market. This is a highly sought after edition. Really amazing alternative cover art. On the back you have the classic Drew Struzan cover art. This one also comes with a cool insert. Let me show this here real quick. So you got a fold out insert and 3 layers, a front and a back. Yep. That's a lot to show. What's really cool about this insert is, god damn it. You got John Carpenter here with a cool quote and an autograph. Watch this movie in the dark. Best wishes, John Carpenter. So I definitely watched this movie a lot of times in the dark. So The Thing, the Japanese LaserDisc release from 1993. Look again at this marvelous interpretation of the Blair monster. I sadly don't know the artist. I think it's it's probably from a Japanese painter. Then we have my most recent LaserDisc pickup from a Dutch marketplace. I find a lot of stuff there. It's a UK edition of They Live. So another Carpenter movie one of my favorites from the late 80s. This is also an alternative cover, as you can see. It's a collage style mishmash of things in a movie. So yeah, who are they and what do they want? We're going back to Japan with the first ever released LaserDisc of Hellbound Hellraiser II. This Clive Barker movie, the sequel actually, I personally think it's better than the first. I really love this movie. I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I also love the Hellbound heart story of Clive Barker. This movie goes a little further in the depths of labyrinthian latex horror kinks. Let me get this one out of the plastic here, so you guys can have a better look. This is actually a really cool obi that like yeah, it goes around the LaserDisc cover. It's the front and the back. The disc itself, let me see. Yeah, there's no insert here, only the disc. As you probably noticed, there's something really weird about this cover. It's a really weird cover backed by an equally compelling story. So back in the day, there were a lot of promotional pictures taken for the movie. And they were distributed before the movie came out. So they were actually taken from a cut scene. Not a cut scene, but a cut scene. Yeah, the on-set photographer snapped some of these shots of Pinhead and the open throat Cenobite here. They were both dressed up as surgeons when they shot the scene. You can also see these promotional pictures used on the back of earlier videotapes. So this scene was totally cut from the movie. Up next we have Brian Yuzna's late 80s body horror directorial debut. This movie is equally funny as it is unsettling. Society. I always liked this bizarre original artwork with the lady here ripping off her face. This is the only US version available from back in 1992. So the back here real quick. So yeah, Brian Yuzna's Society. Definitely check out this movie if you haven't seen it yet and you're into gruesome body horror and elite orgies. Speaking of Brian Yuzna, the second Stuart Gordon movie that he produced, From Beyond, also has a LaserDisc release. Of course, this is the Dutch version. It's actually still sealed. I found this in the wild when I was in a store in Amsterdam. So this was like a vinyl store and they had a LaserDisc box. I just grabbed it there for a couple of euros. So it's still sealed. It's a Dutch release on Cascar Video, who also does VHS editions for the Dutch market. Back in the 90s, I suppose. You have the cover here from the Pretorius monster, if I remember it correctly. And it actually has an alternative font also. The Dutch From Beyond release, still sealed. Great movie by Stuart Gordon. So, back to Japan with Joe Dante's crazy Gremlins sequel, Gremlins 2. I really like the assembled collage style artwork on this. Let me show it to you guys real quick. As you can see, it really pops out on the blue and yellow background. So here's the back. So a really cool looking Japanese LaserDisc release from the 90s. This one is absolutely one of the more crazy and spectacular artworks I've ever seen on LaserDisc. Tobe Hooper's Invaders from Mars, if you haven't guessed it yet. It's a slightly downscaled version of the original Japanese poster art from back in the 80s when this was released in Asian cinemas. The back is also really nice. It has the alternative title Space Invader. Maybe it's a nod to the Space Invader video game back in the day. I don't know. The pop culture phenomenon in Japan. It's mostly a mystery to me, but I adore the artwork they make for these weird editions. A regular silver disc, no inserts, and I sadly don't have the obi for this one. I believe there is one available. But yeah, I found this one online secondhand, so yeah, I couldn't refuse to pick it up with that kind of amazing artwork. Toby Hooper's remake of Invaders from Mars. More spectacular artwork on The Dungeon Master. This is a crazy piece of 80s art like we know it from back in the day. I believe this was the original US poster art that Empire Pictures distributed through Vestron Video. It also appears on earlier VHS versions, if I can trust my research at least. This artwork was made by the Italian artist Enzo Schiotto. He also did artwork for Army of Darkness, The Beyond, Phenomena, and other Italian horror classics. And finally, Leviathan. This is another American LaserDisc release from back in 1989. The deluxe letterbox edition of George P. Cosmatos' Leviathan.
How do you feel?
Better.
I'm a sucker for underwater late 80s horror, so I collect everything that rips off the abyss. This is mostly a movie that stands alone though. It combines elements of Alien and The Thing, and it has a great cast. It's overall it's great cheesy fun. I really like the minimalist illustration on here. So yeah, I wanted to have this artwork on a big LaserDisc presentation. And that's about it. Oh, they weigh a ton. 10 of my favorite LaserDisc releases in the collection, even without a player to watch them. Eventually all these LaserDiscs will go up in frames. At least that's what I keep saying to myself. For me, this format is all about the artwork, the history, and the pure physical presence. Some people collect vinyl, some collect steelbooks. I also collect vinyl and I also collect steelbooks. But I mostly collect these giant multimedia frisbees for archival purposes, like I said before. Do you still collect LaserDisc, or is this a format you completely missed? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because there's always more physical media waiting in the Nightmare Attic.